On the Friday night sports show, we're joined by one of the key people talking football, particularly with the SANFL and the Community Council. The member of that is Scott Duncan. He's from out of our southeast areas. And there was a meeting on the weekend at Narracourt about the future of footy across the three southeast leagues. So Scott Duncan, he's kindly given us his time and joining us now. Hi Scott, how are you?
I'm good, thanks mate.
Good to have you back on board, hopefully going pretty well. Lots of exciting things happening in Southeast football, and great to get a bit of a angle, I suppose, on the meeting at Narracourt last week. Could you sort of perhaps give us a little bit of an idea of how the invitations came by and what direction those invitations for presidents and for league presidents and club presidents, the orientation towards that?
Yeah, look, as you stated, the league presidents and the club presidents from all the three senior men's football leagues and the presidents of the clubs in the women's football league as well, along with netball presidents as well. So football and netball obviously go together. We're all invited to a meeting with the SANFL in attendance as well, really to look at what the future of football is going to be in the southeast. So, yeah, it was a very good meeting on the day.
And looking at the future of football, is there a perception that there are problems ahead and that the changes may need to be made to clubs and to leagues?
Yeah, look, I think in terms of problems, it's great to have football going this year, but just population and the demographics of all the southeast, not in one particular area, means, as has happened in the past, we're going to have to look at what that change is going to be and start planning for it.
And when we start talking about the leagues, I mean, there's not a population issue in, say, Mount Gambier, but there is, say, at Padthaway. So in that type of context, some of the clubs in attendance may have been from the very smaller country communities and maybe struggling with those junior grades. But was there discussion about the fabric of the sport in terms of the age profiles and of numbers?
Yeah, look, what we're going to do, the regional council, the Limestone Coast Regional Council, is actually going to consult individually with each of the clubs and each of the leagues and really get a picture of where they're at right now and where they see their future being. So everything's on the table, nothing's not on the table, but we really want to get a good picture of where we're at right now and where we're going to be into the future.
Now, is there any perception that with the border issues with Victoria, and we've seen Caniva in the KNT already make the decision to go to Horsham District, has there been any commentary surrounding, say, the western border having 6 teams at the moment and, say, Casterton being in Victoria, maybe not playing in the western border and that creating a need for a change?
Yeah, I guess COVID and the border situation with both the KNTFL and Western Border has caused some issues this year and obviously last year. So I think that's just the trigger to have a look. But overall, when you look at the trends and population of all the clubs in the area, there is some concern there going forward. So I think it's just a very opportune time to have a look at what it's going to look like and see where we end up.
So if we were having, say, the next meeting, is that in the time frame towards the end of the season and we're not looking to see any changes for 2022 at this stage?
So what we've committed to from that meeting, we got approval from the clubs and the leagues for the Limestone Coast Regional Council to form a working party. And as I said, they will go and speak individually with all the clubs and leagues, and we'll report back to that group again at the end of October, early November.
All right, it's an interesting situation, Scott. I understand from some of the discussion that has come out of it that one of the key age groups is the 14 to 17-year-old boys, particularly not participating at the same level in football as they had once, not necessarily just because of population. Is that a concern that you're looking at, say, at a wider level here, or is it merely just saying, hey, this is the numbers, these are the clubs, let's have a discussion around that?
All issues are on the table, and certainly even we discussed briefly, we didn't get into a lot of detail, but even perhaps having junior games on a Wednesday night or a Friday night or things like that. So really looking to make sure we provide the right opportunity, and that may not be Saturday football as we've traditionally known it for everyone. So there's been some success around different parts of Australia with playing on different nights and that sort of stuff. So really getting an understanding of why the younger players aren't necessarily playing, and make sure we cater and provide the best opportunities for them to do so.
It's a very interesting conversation. We look forward to plugging in with you more often as this unfolds. Scott Duncan, who is the Limestone Coast representative on the South Australian Community Football Council, we thank you for joining us today.